Welcome to session 2 of our lesson. Today's lesson will focus basically on verbatim transcriptions and how they are used in data organization and analysis. We will also try to look at how we can use computers in qualitative data analysis. The first that we have to look at is verbatim transcription. What constitutes verbatim transcription? When we talk of verbatim transcription, we are talking about transcription of information that we retrieve from interviews, we retrieve from conversations that takes place with our respondents, as well as all the things that are related to spoken words. And these must either be audio taped interviews that we put into written text. Transcription therefore involves making a written statement of all the records that we receive from interviews and group discussions, and these are applied during data analysis. Therefore, each of the things that we record, the recorded interview or group discussion, had to be turned into a verbatim transcription. This means that we are transcribing exactly word to word what had been provided to us from the respondent. This means we must be able to develop the information or data that has been provided to us in exactly the same way as the respondent told us or said. This must be done through careful listening of the recordings as the interview is reconstructed from one point or time to the other. It means we have to start exactly where it was started and end exactly where the respondent ended. We must also know that when we are doing or you are doing verbatim transcription, the voice tone of the respondent is very important. Where the respondent pauses, you have to indicate it. Where the respondent maybe provided something that is noteworthy, such as laughing or trying to provide information that is contrary to what he's saying, you must be able to record it. In this case, you must also note observations that happened whilst the recording was being done. Now, let us at the moment try to look at what we can do when we are transcribing a recorded interview. The first is that the pauses should be indicated by using dashes, and ellipses should indicate gaps or prolonged pauses. Now, when we talk of ellipses, we are talking of 3 dashes or 3 full stops to distinguish between a pause and a dash. A pause is one that the person stops, and a prolonged pause is where he pauses for a long time. There are also things that you must note. You must also note exclamations, laughter, crying, and other forms of actions that the respondent must have done during the interview. And for these expressions like exclamations, you can use brackets to distinguish them. Then you must also try to make sure that interviews are single-spaced, and at the same time you must note which speaker is talking at any moment in time. And so what you do is that you write the question that you asked down and also the response from the speaker following the question. You must also know that you must provide a margin so that you can code all the issues or the keywords that come from the transcription. And these are what is regarded as comments. And so whatever transcription that you do, you must have enough space at the margin so that you can make comments. Then you have to start a new paragraph each time a topic is changed. In other words, as soon as you ask a new question, you must show that by a paragraph. Then, as you transcribe, you must be noting that the pages must be numbered sequentially so that you will know what data follow what data, and also which informant is speaking and which informant is following. As a sequence, these are some examples of what had to be done. So what are some of the challenges in transcription? The first is that we are dealing with human beings, and we may not have enough resources to do a lot of things. And one of the things is that we must always try to use the appropriate equipment when we are doing transcription of data. Sometimes we use computers to transcribe the data, but we can also do transcription manually by listening to the tape over and over again and again and again. Getting computer to transcribe data costs money, but we can also do transcription by making sure that sometimes we look for people who transcribe the data and pay them. And if you are to pay and you don't have the money, it becomes difficult. And that is why always we try to make sure that we have enough information, enough resources in order to complete our transcription.